ॐ अजाय नमः। ॐ अव्ययाय नमः। ॐ अविनाशिने नमः। ॐ अचिन्त्याय नमः। ॐ अप्रमेयाय नमः। ॐ अद्वितीयाय नमः। ॐ अनिकेताय नमः। ॐ अनुशासनप्रियाय नमः। ॐ अन्तःसाक्षिणे नमः। ॐ अन्तर्यामिने नमः। ॐ आनन्दाय नमः। ॐ आत्मस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ आङ्ग्लभाषाविदुत्तमाय नमः। ॐ ईश्वराय नमः। ॐ उदारहृदयाय नमः। ॐ उत्साहवर्धकाय नमः। ॐ एकस्मै नमः। ॐ ओङ्कारविदे नमः। ॐ करुणासागराय नमः। ॐ कर्मपरायणाय नमः। ॐ कालातीताय नमः। ॐ कैवल्यस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ कृतात्मने नमः। ॐ कृतकृत्याय नमः। ॐ गीताज्ञानयज्ञप्रचारकाय नमः। ॐ गुरवे नमः। ॐ गुणातीताय नमः। ॐ ग्रन्थकृते नमः। ॐ चिन्मयाय नमः। ॐ छिन्नसंशयाय नमः। ॐ जगदात्मने नमः। ॐ जगत्साक्षिणे नमः। ॐ जनप्रियाय नमः। ॐ जितेन्द्रियाय नमः। ॐ जीवब्रह्मैक्यविदे नमः। ॐ जीवन्मुक्ताय नमः। ॐ जीर्णमन्दिरोद्धारकाय नमः। ॐ तपोवनशिष्याय नमः। ॐ तपस्विने नमः। ॐ तापनाशनाय नमः। ॐ तीर्थस्वरूपाय नमः। ॐ तेजस्विने नमः। ॐ देहातीताय नमः। ॐ द्वन्द्वातीताय नमः। ॐ दृढनिश्चयाय नमः। ॐ धर्मसंस्थापकाय नमः। ॐ धीमते नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ धैर्यप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नारायणाय नमः। ॐ निजानन्दाय नमः। ॐ निरपेक्षाय नमः। ॐ निःस्पृहाय नमः। ॐ निरुपमाय नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पाय नमः। ॐ नित्याय नमः। ॐ निरञ्जनाय नमः। ॐ परमाय नमः। ॐ परब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ पावनाय नमः। ॐ पावकाय नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ प्रसन्नात्मने नमः। ॐ बलासक्तिरहिताय नमः। ॐ बहुभक्ताय नमः। ॐ बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मनिष्ठाय नमः। ॐ ब्रह्मपराय नमः। ॐ वयननुषाय नमः। ॐ भारतगौरवाय नमः। ॐ भूम्ने नमः। ॐ महावाक्योपदेशकाय नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ मधुरस्वभावाय नमः। ॐ मनोहराय नमः। ॐ महात्ममेधाविने। ॐ मेधाविने नमः। ॐ यदात्मने नमः। ॐ यज्ञकृते नमः। ॐ लोकप्रसिद्धाय नमः। ॐ वाग्मिने नमः। ॐ विभवे नमः ॐ विनोदप्रियाय नमः ॐ विनयशीलाय नमः ॐ वीतरागाय नमः ॐ वेदान्तवेद्याय नमः ॐ शान्ताय नमः ॐ शान्तिप्रदाय नमः ॐ शास्त्रोद्धारकाय नमः ॐ शुद्धसत्त्वाय नमः ॐ श्रुतिपारकाय नमः ॐ श्रोत्रियाय नमः ॐ सन्न्यासिने नमः ॐ समबुद्धये नमः ॐ सच्चिदानन्दाय नमः ॐ सर्वहितचिन्तकाय नमः ॐ सत्यसङ्कल्पाय नमः ॐ सन्तुष्टाय नमः ॐ साधवे नमः ॐ सुमनसे नमः ॐ सुहृदे नमः ॐ स्वयं ज्योतिषे नमः ॐ स्थितप्रज्ञाय नमः ॐ क्षमाशीलाय नमः ॐ ज्ञानमूर्तये नमः ॐ ज्ञानयोगिने नमः ॐ ज्ञानतृप्ताय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ नित्यशुद्धबुद्धमुक्तस्वरूपाय नमः ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. First of all, my thanks to the hosts for hosting this satsang. It is the 38th satsang among the 108 satsang that we have planned to conduct. And the topic that we have is Tapovana-Shishyaaya Namah. We have started this series in the month of August this year, and it will go up to June or July next year, by which we will complete the 108 names of Pujya Gurudev. The intention of this or the purpose of this program is to remind us that such a great Mahatma lived, and he had left his body 25 years back, and still his vision is being unfolded in various ways. So to remind ourselves that we are committed to the vision of such a great person. Nobody can learn anything without a teacher. In any field you take, if these children had sung so well, it's not by chance. Very rarely there can be a prodigy who can sing without any prior teaching by anybody in this life. But every one of us must admit that we can learn anything only when we have the correct teacher who knows the knowledge and imparts it to us. Even to learn how to drive, you need a teacher, isn't it? Even to speak a language, mother has taught how to speak first the language. Therefore, we call it as mother tongue. Mother also developed the tongue also. That is another thing. So, even language is learned with the help of somebody. And if you want to learn another language, let's say you wanted to learn, your mother tongue is Kannada, and you want to learn English, you learn English with the help of Kannada. Right? You do not learn a language without having some other language helping you. In the same way, the knowledge of the highest truth also requires a teacher. And it is always written by our Gurudev that anything unknown starts from the known only. Anything that is unseen starts from the seen. Anything that is ununderstood starts from basic understanding. Just like if you see a flight taking off, it has to be first on the ground. It has to start from the ground, start traveling in the ground, take a momentum and then take off. So then the same way, what is the substratum basis of everything? From there we start. Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji, when he began his journey as a spiritual aspirant or a person who is interested to know about higher reality, he had absolutely no idea about what he is looking for. He was not looking for any guru also. None of us are looking for guru. Do we? In your life, have you looked for any guru? No. We might have gone to a temple, we might have done some puja, some rituals. But the idea of a guru comes only when there is an idea of bondage. I want to get out of this bondage. So if you have no need to drive a car, do you look for anybody to train you? I don't. I have no intention to drive, and therefore people ask this question to me, Swamiji, you drive? No, I don't drive, but I will make others drive. I will drive others. Same way, if I have no intention to cook or no need to cook, then why do I need to learn cooking? Nowadays, that's what the youngsters are going to do. Amazon fresh. Go on online and ask for it. It will be delivered by the time you come back from your work. Food is ready. Drone will come and drop it. Dronacharya will come and drop it. And you then take it and eat. What is the need for cooking? What do you need for even kitchen? Don't you think? What do you think? You need a kitchen? They don't think so. They are not going to cook. So, when there is no need for a particular field for you to excel, there is no need for a teacher also. So, Gurudev was not looking for any teacher anyway. He was only concerned about the problems that are there in the society. And social issues were there at that time. Even now it is the same. Everywhere. The people of the higher, status always treating the people of the lower status in a very slavery manner, treating it, unpleasantly, not having the same treatment for everyone. Social, what do you call that? Inequalities were there during the in pre-independence time in India. And that is there even today in every city, every society. Those disparities are always there. He was very concerned about that. And he wrote on articles and journals, etc. So he was not seriously looking for any spiritual teacher as such. But then the whole thing changed when his own dear, very dear friend suddenly died. It was a shock to him. Till yesterday he was alive, kicking, talking, joyfully enjoying, sharing thoughts, smiling, laughing, energetic young man, gone. So everything suddenly became bleak and unbearable. Why? What is life? What is death? Why suddenly somebody died? And what reason? Where do they go? Where has he gone? So this kind of a question rose in his mind, and he was very moved by that kind of a situation, meaning it need not necessarily that in everybody's life there is some tragedy should happen to go to a guru. But in his case, he also felt that I need answers. And he looked for answers. And one led to another. He landed in Swami Ishwaranandaji's ashram in Rishikesh. And from there, he was sent to Swami Tapovana. Swami Tapovana was a giant in his own way. A person of extreme tapas. Today, we don't even understand what tapas means. The very word, I'll talk about it another, the next one is coming as Tapasvini Namah. So I have to keep that for that. Tapas in general, Tapo Vai Brahma, it's written in Upanishads. Very word Tapu means to burn. In the Kannada and Tamil, Tapu means wrong. Tapu. Actually, Tapaha, Tapas. Suryaha Tapati. Surya is burning. Agnihi Tapati. Agni is burning. So it's anything that is burning. It's called Tapa. So tapas is really leaking away because it's sitting here is a tapas for him. So you cannot stand that. So when we are tortured by anything, burned by anything, troubled by anything, we get disturbed. But if you yourself make that happen to overcome an impurity, it's called tapas. If you are standing in a hot sun, it definitely is burning you. But that is not considered as a tapas. But you willingly stand there to make sure your body should tolerate that. Oh, you might have seen. You go to Goa or any other beach and all this. Go to Mexico, beaches. Tapas. What is that they put? Tanning cream, whatever. And then sit in the hot sun. I can't do that. Because what was the purpose? Is it not intentionally done?
Yeah.
It is intentional.
For what? Change the color.
Yeah.
And they are envious. These people are naturally as this color. We want that color. And then sometime like this, sometime like a toasting, you know. This toasting this way and toasting that way. And people who are already in that place, living in that place, they are already in that color only. They don't bother. So why that fair-skinned ones have to lie down on the sand with those things spread on their body? Tapas. Anyway, this we understand. But in life, we are accustomed to certain things, used to certain things, and not even we know that we are slave to that. Only when they are absent, we suddenly realize, oh my God, how much trouble it gives. Coffee. Then what will you do? When you're traveling and there's no coffee. It so happened, I was traveling in one of the Chinese airlines, And in Chinese airlines, nothing called milk. You must, anybody is trying to go there, you please understand that. Obviously, I wanted milk, coffee. So coffee. He looked at me, she looked at me as though I'm not talking to her at all. I want coffee. Okay, get me milk. I want milk. There is no milk. Then how will you make coffee out of that? So when you are used to certain habits and when it is not given to you, what happens to your mind? These kids who are used to at least once a week they have to have pizza, correct? Correct or not? Yes. Yes. She said, it means yes. Now, no pizza. When you go to a deep village in India, Karnataka somewhere, what you all that get is akki roti. You don't get pizza there. Then what will you do then? There's nothing available. So when we are used to something, when we are accustomed to or got used to or habituated, not given to you, deprived, what happens to your mind? Disturbed. When your routine is not there, disturbed. When used to your Wi-Fi, cell phone, TV, video games, all removed from you. Nothing. And if you don't complain, that is called tapas. You're not suppressing that idea. You're not suppressing it. Okay, I can live without that also. Let me see if I can live without them. Why am I getting slave to that? Can I live without that? I was not born with that. It came on the way and then I got used to it. If they are not there, let it not be. If you are able to test yourself, whether you can remain calm and quiet and peaceful, serene and still undisturbed, happy, then that ability to let go consciously, to test yourself whether you are capable of living without all those things, that is called tapas. More of it next session only about this topic. So, when Swami Shivananda wanted Swami Chinmayananda to learn the deeper imports of Upanishads and Gita, he wanted to send him to Swami Tapovana. And Swami Tapovanam was remaining in isolation. He was not living amidst people. Unlike Swami Shivananda, who was a very great, well-known yogi, as well as one who had taken up the task of serving the people around with an establishment like an ashram, which was not the case of Swami Tapovanam. He was not interested or he was not into doing all that thing. His only engagement in life, daily life, is study, contemplation, meditation. Nothing else. So to such a master, Swami Chinmayananda was sent. Consciously by Shivananda. He has to learn the deeper imports of the Upanishads and Gita. So when Gurudev went all the way, going from Rishikesh to the abode of Swami Tapovanam was a trek. During those times there is no road etc. to go to that place. It took, how much time by walk? 1 month walking. Think of it. That itself is a tapas. 1 month of walking with nothing in your hand. No place for shops or nothing there to eat food. Wherever is under a tree, take rest. Night. Whatever. Go to the Ganges, water is there, drink water. On the way there may be some fruits fruit trees, you eat fruit, or ask for food on the way in a small village, keep going. This way, after a month of trekking, he reached Swami Tapovanam. And this journey from Rishikesh to Uttarakashi, he has written in the form of an article, set of articles, because he was a journalist basically. It's called My Trek to Uttarakhand. This book is even now available. When he reached there, and he saluted to Swami Tapovanam and said, I am here to learn from you, sent by Swami Ishwaranandaji. This I have already stated in another place, but anyway, some of you might not have heard. So Swami Tapovanam looked at him. Oh, what is your name? Swami Chinmayanandaji. Do you have a letter from Swami Shivananda about coming here? I didn't get any information. Do you have a letter recommending you? No. Go and get it. Think of it. You would have said, nothing doing, I'm going. What do you think? So, Swami Chinmayananda looked at him. You wanted a letter? Yes. Yes, I will get it for you. Walk back 1 month. And Swami Ishwarananda was not expecting him. So almost a month, 2 months later, suddenly Swami Chinmayananda appearing in front of him. Hey, I sent you to Swami Tapovanam. What happened? He wanted a letter from you. Oh. Immediately he wrote a letter to him, saying that Swami Chinmayananda, I am sending you, accept him as your disciple, and he is there to listen to you and serve you and then learn from you. Signed. No. 1 month of walking back. You can't even imagine, huh? Your children, when they don't have their homework, you take a car and give it to them. It's not that you do. Mom, my homework is on the table. Or you would not have even done. You please do it and come. I forgot to do my homework. Can you please finish it and bring it there? You leave everything on your hand. Go into that room and then take it out, prepare it and put it in your car. Zzz. So he went back another 1 month. And having reached there, Swami Tapovanam, for the other disciples who were there, they asked, do you think he'll come back? Let us wait and watch. Swami Tapovanam told others. There he appeared. He looked at all of them and smiled. Yes, here is a letter. Keep it with you. See, that is Swami Tapovanam. Wanting to find out whether you really need to learn. Whether you are really eager to learn this. It's not easy to get. Today, on a press of a button, you get whole Vedanta in Google, Wikipedia. Entire Vedanta is available. All. Brahma Sutra, Gita, Upanishad, everything is with 25 commentaries. But nothing like learning from a master. So thus, finally, when he was accepted as a disciple, he told him, I will teach everything only once. No books. No taking notes. And tomorrow when I ask you, you should exactly say what I have taught you. It depends upon how attentive you are. No distractions in your mind. Nothing should take your attention. So it is said that there is a joke about one set of disciples were sitting there, and constantly sound is coming. So one set of disciples were sitting there, and then teacher was teaching, and there was a rat, a small mouse was moving about, and And everybody is looking at that only. So he said, pay attention to what I am saying. So he was talking. And he could watch them, they are looking at that once in a while. That fellow was going silent. So suddenly he asked, so now what happened? So all of them said, only tail is remaining. So if your mind is so distracted, you will not be able to capture it. So it is said in the Upanishad, Acharyavan Purusho Veda. One who has a teacher has to know. In this particular subject matter, the teacher plays a very, very crucial role. Because as I said in the beginning, this subject matter is unknown and not objectified. It's not easy. Because if it is something which one can demonstrate and show it, it is easy. But it is something which you cannot even think about. Achintyam. And to prepare the mind of a student, first of all, that itself is very, 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 very difficult one. So it is said that one student, he went to learn from a great master. This also I have mentioned in another place. And he went because this teacher was living in a small hillock. So the boy climbed up and then went there. And the teacher was all by himself. And he was doing some gardening. So the student went there, saluted to him. I want to learn from you. What? About the greatest, highest truth. You see, I am doing some gardening. Will you help me first? Yeah, okay. Because it is said in Gita, Tadvidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnanena tattvadarshina. First you have to do pranipad, salutation. Then do seva. Then ask questions. Because that shows how humble you are, how eagerly you are looking for, and how you are ready to receive. Because like the water always flows from the higher to the lower level, so also the knowledge. So he asked, can you help me in doing some gardening? He said, yes, I'm ready for the seva. You see, there is a bamboo basket there. It's full of dirt. You go down, there is a river running below, pick up some water and come. So the boy was very eager. He took the bamboo basket, went down, it's some 100 feet down, he has to walk down, climb down, picked up the water and started climbing up. By the time he reached bamboo basket, no water will remain. By the time he brought it, there is absolutely no water. So the Guru said, pour the water. Hey, where is the water? This is a bamboo basket, there cannot be any water. It means you have come very slow. Pick up and quickly come. Again the boy went, picked up the water and came running. All through the way, the water spilled. By the time he came, hardly anything. Go back again. Went 2, 3, 4 times. Finally, that boy got exhausted. What do you think? This bamboo basket can never hold water. How will you expect me to bring water at all? It's a waste of time. Or why are you testing me? What are you testing me for? He said, didn't you understand? No. 2 things. 1, that bamboo basket was so dirty when you started with. Right? Now you look at it. How is it? Clean. Because by the time he picked up the water and came back 2 to 3 times, the dirt in the basket is completely gone. Clean. Very good. But even then, clean basket, all right. But can you bring water in that? Yes? No. In the same way. Your mind is impure. If the mind is impure, it has to be made pure first. You have so many other thoughts that are there about yesterday, about past, about what happened. Your mind is filled with that and about frustration, some anger, some jealousy. Such a mind can never learn this. Secondly, see the basket? It's a very holy basket, full of holes. Similarly, if your mind is full of dissipations, without any control of the senses, your sense indulgence, your mind is going into those things, are anxious about what am I going to do later, your mind is not ready. Therefore, please understand, there are two things important. That is self-control and mind control. Shama and Dama. Control of the mind, control of the senses. That is said to be one of the two among the 9 qualifications that are not necessary. Shama, Dama, Uparadi, Tidiksha, Shraddha, Samadhan. So, Swami Tapovanam was a person of a great discipline, a great saint. And he wanted his disciples to be alert. If you are not alert, you are not going to get it. And today, our children going to universities and colleges, during the daytime, sleep, oh, sleep. And at 11 o'clock they wake up. The day has begun. They are called nocturnals. Wide awake with the tea in their hand or coffee or a coke next to 4 or 5 hours up to 4 o'clock. Morning. When the sun is up, they are down. When sun is down, they are up. Opposite is happening. So that being the case, the mind's alertness. Gurudev used to give the example of a canvas paint. If you want to paint, first thing that you have to do is to fix it. Is it not? Anybody is a painter here? Not a painter of this, no? Artist. Any artist here? Anybody?
Behind here.
Behind you? This one? Okay. You are the one. You need to fix the canvas to a particular frame. Even before you start the first stroke. If the frame is there, fixed to the frame, the canvas, and somebody is holding it, and when you start painting, he moves. What will happen? You take the paint, about to paint, moves. When in the second stroke, he moves again. You will get something. That is called modern art. If you see the modern art, you will not understand which is the top, which is the bottom. What is the eyes will be there, nose will be somewhere else here, and mouth will be somewhere, and the hand will be somewhere here. Modern art. And they always put the signature below. You know why? Because you should know which is the top, which is the bottom. And somebody has to write what it means. One lady was in an art gallery and she was looking at all the modern art. Suddenly she screamed. So everybody rushed to her. What is this? Why are you screaming? What is this? Whose profile is this? Portrait. So everybody looked at it. Ma'am, that's a mirror. Anyway, that's a joke apart. So, if the canvas is moving, what painting you can do? In the same way, if the teacher has to say exactly a point and your mind is not there, you will not catch it. So, Swami Tapovanam said that I will not allow you to write any notes, no book in front of you. Everything should be heard. That is how the tradition was. Shruti. Even these children, when they are learning the music, traditionally when they are learning music, do you take notes? How do you know? How do you remember?
Listening.
You cannot learn music by looking at the notes. Listening is the only way. Similarly, in the past, the teacher taught everything by mouth, by passing on that information only by listening alone. That's why Shravanam. Listening is the first and foremost discipline. No question of taking notes. No question of writing and looking at some other notes of somebody else. No commentaries were there. So Swami Tapovanam said, there is no place for you to stay here. There is another small ashram below, next to the Ganges. You have to stay there, and the food will be served in a what is called Shatra. It's called Kali Kambliwala Shatra. There was a great saint who felt that the sadhus in the Himalayas are not getting proper food. So what he did was, he had a black kambal. You might have seen that, a red stripe will be there. That is Kali Kambali. And then he used to wear only that. And he used to go to people and beg, ask for money so that he can provide for the sadhus. So that's how he started. Now it is a very famous chain of ashrams which will provide food for the sadhus who are living in the Himalayas. So there used to be one in Uttarakashi, and Gurudev used to go and eat food there and also bring it for Swami Tapovanam. And he used to describe about the food that is available there. Of course, they have to serve for so many hundreds of sadhus. There, obviously, everybody has to share the food. And he would say, the roti will be very similar to MRF tires. Because MRF tires is very famous in India. It's from Kerala, the MRF tires. Some rubber factories, so MRF. It will be such, like it's so tough to eat. And then there is something called dal, in which it is essentially water with one small grain of dal floating around. You have to catch it. And most of the time you have to dip it and wait for that it to soak the roti, and then eat it. 1 or 2 per day. 1 or 2 such roti per day. That's it. That's why if you see his pictures when he was a student, like a wire. And that is how he lived, to learn from his master. Leaving his profession as a journalist, he was very well paid and very well known, and all that he could have enjoyed. No, I want to learn. For that he went through the tapas. Under whom? Tapovanam. It's the forest of austerity. See, nowadays also we do, you people do some fasting and all those things, right? Don't you do Monday fasting, Ekadashi fasting? Don't you do that? But when you do the fasting, you always make sure that you have food to eat late tomorrow. You want to make sure that food is cooked and kept, so that at the end of the fasting, I am ready. And most of the time when you do such fasting, the mind is constantly on food only. There is the time to eat. But Gurudev lived like that under him, and therefore such discipline of living is called Shishtam. In Sanskrit, Shishtam anucharati saha yaha shishyaha. Shishya means one who follows a discipline. Shishta means discipline. Shishtam anucharati shishyaha. If there is no discipline at all, there is no disciple. The very word disciple means discipline. One who has a discipline. So there is a difference between a disciple and a devotee. Many people say, I am a disciple of Swami Chinmayanandaji. You are only a devotee. Devotee is different. Devotee adores and worships or praises or, feeling a sense of respect, reverence for the teacher. Disciple is not like that. Disciple is differently treated by the teacher altogether. A disciple is one who must be ready to burn. That's why I always say Guru is one, is like a light. It's like that lamp light there. You all see that light? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Are you able to see the light?
Yeah.
If you switch off all these lights, that light will show the picture. You appreciate that, right? Most people who listen to great masters, they appreciate them from a distance. Oh, that Swamiji spoke very well. That is like appreciating the lamp from a distance. Go near, you'll feel the warmth. You put your hand there, or go closer to it. So similarly, a devotee, when he wants to become a disciple, he has to go closer to the Guru, and Guru's warmth can be felt. His forgiveness, his tolerance, his compassion, his sincerity, you can feel that. But when you put your hand in that, it will burn you. Similarly, a disciple not only goes to learn from him, finally he burns. The Guru will completely burn his ego, destroy it. In front of the Guru, therefore, the disciple cannot see a word, because the teacher is interested in destroying your ego. Only in the depth of the ego, the reality can be realized. If that wick there is not ready to burn, will there be light? If the candle has got a small little that wick, it is inserted in it. If it is not ready to burn, will it have a light?
No.
In the same way, unless the ego is burned, knowledge will not take place. And therefore the teacher has to make sure the disciple does not have his own pet ideas and opinions. He has to completely merge in the knowledge. No question of I and mine. So, Swami Tapovanam was such an exalted teacher who would not allow his students to ever have even an iota of selfishness. That's why Swami Ishwaranandaji sent him there specifically. He must learn the original teachings from the person who lives by that. It is said that once many people who had appreciated Swami Tapovanam used to come, devotees. On one such occasion, when Swami Tapovanam was teaching the students, and many of the students could not tolerate or could not live up to the expectations of Swami Tapovanam, they come and go. And Swami Tapovanam said, yeah, that much only you need to learn, you can go. One or two people came and asked Swamiji, what is the next text? I will teach, you will not be there. You have done, enough is for you to go and contemplate. Because he was filtering them. So he was such a person who would not allow anyone to disturb the class also. So when the devotees came and he looked at them, he continued to teach. Once their teaching is over, and then said, yes, come. So they came, they brought some fruits and other things, and they brought some laddus. Tirupati laddu. They brought. In north they make it small, little. I don't know what it is, bundi or something. What do you call it? Laddu only. Ladu, not laddu, ladu. They brought. So he said, keep it there. And then he talked to them and they went. And he said to one of the disciples, keep it inside. There was only 2 rooms he had. Not even 2 rooms, 1 room. If you go to Uttarakansh, you will know. There is only 1 room which is called his room, and outside is a veranda. Outside, that's where he would sit and teach. And when I went there for the first time, I was thinking that inside the room there will be a cot and the chair, and when I went there, nothing. There was a cement, in the cement there was a race like that. That's it. That's his bed. And few books. That's all inside. Outside, there's nothing. So that was simplicity with which he was living. Absolutely owning anything. Nothing. Owning nothing. Owning anything. Owning nothing. So the disciple came there, then he said, you keep it inside. So he kept it inside. The day was over, and the disciples went to contemplate in the Ganges bank, because right from where he was living, you can see the Ganges. And he used to sit down hours together looking at the Ganges and meditating. He was a great admirer of Himalayas and Ganges. So they went down into another place called Kailash Ashram. That is where they were staying. And then it used to be very cold during winter. But you have to live through the winter and summer and learn. So next day when they came, and Swami Tapovana started the class, Om, he chanted and then started the class. And he noticed that their attention is not as alert as before. He didn't say anything, he kept quiet, continued to teach. Second day, he found the disturbances more. Third day, suddenly he stopped in the middle of the class. I know what you people are thinking. Where is the laddu? Hey, go up, go inside. Untouched. As it was given, it was there. He brought it out. And everybody was excited. Now he is going to give it to us. Throw it in the Ganges. If that can cause your disturbance, I don't need it. Throw it. Throw it. So, that's what I said. If the canvas on which a person is painting, if the canvas is moving, what can you paint? That is the discipline he had with his students. And that is why Gurudev himself was a person of such great discipline. I have experienced it. Once we were all standing to wait for Gurudev to arrive. He was coming from some other city. And we as students were standing to receive him. He came, and usually when he comes and gets off from the car. On the right side is this room where he used to go and meet people. A lot of people were waiting, around 100 people. On the left side is the steps towards the temple, and Shiva's temple is there. And it is past 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and the temple was closed according to the traditional closings schedule. Swamiji arrived around 12:15. Got off the car, and we were all thinking that he will go towards the kutia. We were all standing around that side of the car. He opened the other side. What is he trying to do? Is he going to the temple? Talk. He got onto the stairs. We were running behind him. We never expected him to go to the temple. Obviously, the temple is closed. He knows that. He went in front of the temple, did the namaskar, and turned around. And there used to be a brass lamp. In Kerala, like we have a brass lamp, huge one, which is around 6 to 8 feet height. A lot of wicks in there. That lamp was outside, just in front of the sanctum. He looked at him. Never cleaned for days together. Students, until you clean, no lunch. Next to 1 hour, you could see that how much you worked. With the brasso in our hand. We were hungry also. So it was hot sun. And it will take 2-3 hours to finish that. So we went on and on and on, cleaning and cleaning and cleaning, and then everything. So 3-4 hands, 5-6 hands, and all, because every round requires scratching and cleaning, because it has been not clean for a long time. All that sediments were there, oil, and it would have been green. You know that when you are, it's exposed to the sun, exposed to the water outside. And it was, we worked hard, and then finally after 2.5 hours, it's past 3 o'clock. We are hungry also. 4 o'clock class will start. So finished it. So we went down. Gurudev was waiting without eating. Waiting for you people. Come. So the devotees were to offer him Bhiksha were also waiting. The whole crowd was waiting. You thought my students, how will I eat? Finished? Yes. Okay, now we'll eat. So that is the discipline. Nobody's talking here. That is the discipline with which we were taught. Anybody wants to talk, go to the other room. So what we see is that unless the mind has the ability to let go of its own pet ideas and pet habits, such a mind which is not ready to give up its own egoistic patterns of thinking cannot be available for higher studies. In today's world, we see the gurus are not taught, or teachers are not even respected that way. Of course, teachers are also not respectable. What to do? Once I was asked to speak, I was in Florida somewhere, and I got a request from a community college to, somebody is talking. Please go the other room. So, I was asked to teach on Hinduism, basic tenets of Hinduism. So, by one of the professors there, and I said, okay, I will do that in the morning of one of the days in the morning, and given the time, etc. He said, I will go. So when I went there, I was given the classroom where I have to teach the students. When I went there, students were all sitting there. One was nail polishing, one was filing the ring. Another person was putting his foot on the table and reading something. Another was seriously doing some makeup. I said, I'm here for the class. Yeah. The students said, yes, welcome sir. Yeah, you can start. Around 20 of them doing their own things. Nobody was actually paying attention. Anyway, I started on. Some of them were taking notes. And there was one person who was really distracting. This disheveled hair, she was combing her hair and sitting there and adjusting her dress and all those things. Anyway, so my thing was, I don't know why I was first of all accepted even this to do. Anyway, I did that. After some 45 minutes of my presentation, after that, okay, thank you so much. I don't see your professor here. If she is around, please. The one who is the most distracting, combing her hair, and she goes, I am the professor. Okay, thank you for inviting me. If the teacher itself is like that, what to talk of the students? So, Shishya is, if he is a disciple, the teacher must have discipline. Without the teacher being alert and straight, the students won't be. So, Swami Tapovana was a journalist by himself and a great admirer of nature. And he had trekked to Kailash by himself 2 to 3 times, walking, climbing the hills, not like today. Today we have Nike shoes. 2 poles in the hand, and 3 layers of thing, and the cap also, and the light also, and then covering the ears as well, and then the sun, sun lotion, and then all sort of things, and the food made sure ready. Nothing. He just walked. Nothing in his hand. He never touched food. He will never touch money in his hand. Walked, and whatever is available, eat. If not available, sleep. Take rest. Keep walking. And therefore, he has written the entire journey in a book, Kailash Yatra. You must read that to listen, to understand what kind of a personality he was. And his own life is known as Ishwara Darshan. And he was a great devotee of a particular Shiva who is a presiding deity of Uttarakashi. It's called Saumya Kashi. He was a person of great devotion to Lord Shiva, and he had written poetry on Saumya Kashi. It's called Saumya Kashi Stotram. And he has written many other things also, but what is most important is he gave us the greatest gift, that is Swami Chinmayananda. And there was one person who wrote about Swami Tapovanam, about his greatness. It's called Tapovana-Shishyaaya. Vyaptam jagatyena chidatma bhavat rajva yata hirhita characharam yate sanyasya sarvam cha sadatma bhave swayam samastam cha babhuvayastu nissanga nirmukti padam prapadya brahmatma bhavena virajito yah Sri Saumya Kashisha Maheshwaraya Tasmai Namah Swami Tapovanaya. This is it's in praise of Swami Tapovan. Tasmai Tasmai Tapovanaya Namah. The words it's a long set of verses, 6-7 verses, 8 verses there. Vyaptam Jagatyena, like yena characharam jagat chidatma bhavat vyaptam, by whose pure consciousness the entire world of moving and unmoving were fully covered. Like what? Rajva yata hirhi. Such a beautiful explanation. Like when you see the snake by mistake, which is actually a rope alone is entirely covering the snake. The entire snake is nothing but originally the rope, but you mistake it to be a snake. In the same way, entire world is nothing but consciousness appearing to be the world of plurality. Vyaptam jagatyena chitatma bhavat Rajva yata hirhi characharam yat sanyasya sarvam cha sadatma bhave. Having given up everything in that abidance in the self, swayam samastam cha babhuvayastu, he himself has become the entire world. Nissanga nirmukti padam prapadya, unattached, completely free, that state having reached. Nissanga nirmukti padam prapadya brahmatma bhavena virajito yah. He who is able to realize the oneness between the self and the higher one. Sri Saumya Kashisha Maheshwaraya. So such Mahatmas are very, 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 very rare. Not the ones who are available in the roadside Romeos. Give $100, we'll give you some meditation. If such people, such great masters would have cried from their soul if they have heard about this. Nowadays, you have problem, no issues. What's called? $10 per minute. Solve your problem. Your problem solved. My problem is also solved. $10 again. Selling knowledge is the most greatest crime you can do. Can anybody sell you the sunlight? Can you give money I'll give you that. Of course, spa and all is there, but sunlight being sold here, go and get it. Is it? Is it not the sunlight? Not to be sold by anyone because it is for the universal presence. Knowledge cannot be sold, should not be sold. Of course, you must be qualified to listen to or hear to that. So, that was the nature of such great masters, and he has given us the greatest gift to us, the Swami Tapovana-Shishyaaya, that is Swami Chinmayanandaji. And when we look at, we have not seen Swami Tapovana. One of our members, his mother is still alive, 100 years old, in the Uttarakhand. She had seen him. And she says, once you see him, you will never forget him. Such a powerful presence. I have talked to her and she said, she just closes her eyes, I have seen him when I was young. So you don't need to have see Swami Tapovana. You look at Swami Chinmayanandaji, you know it. What could be his teacher? Such a powerful, such a vibrant, such an alert, such an enthusiastic teacher Swami Gurudev was. I can imagine what could be his master. Like the visual saying that if you want to know whether the rice is cooked or not, you don't need to take the entire rice to eat, right? You take one and look at it. If it is cooked well, obviously the entire thing is cooked. You understand that disciple himself is the presence of his master. If he himself is like this, think about him. So that is why we salute Pujya Gurudev with this name, Tapovana-Shishyaaya Namah. The one who is the greatest disciple of Swami Tapovana. Because as I said, many of the students who learned from him, they just disappeared. Because he was such a strict master. The only person who could stick to him, in spite of the fact he was treated so disciplined, but with such an amount of strict regulations, and he stayed with him, means not only his eagerness, but his love for the knowledge and the Guru. He stayed back, learned, and finally when Swami Tapovana did not even allow him to go to spread this knowledge into the common man, but he pleaded and pleaded and pleaded and said, this knowledge has to go out to the people. If he had not come, you would not be here. He said, I want to make sure this knowledge is reaching to the maximum people. Then he blessed him and said, go ahead. But don't get caught up in the maya of the world. So then he came, Gurudev, and he started giving lectures, etc. But in one occasion when he heard that his master is ailing and he was about to die, he rushed back to Uttarkashi and he reached there. At that time the roads were already laid and he was able to reach him. And Swami Tapovanam, if you had seen the last stage of Swami Tapovanam, the great master, he was sitting erect like a stick, with no support. He was sitting erect at the age where he was about to leave the body. Looking at the Ganges, he was sitting there. The body is failing. So Gurudev went to him and started crying. So he said, why are you crying? He said, Maharaj, I know that you are ailing. You are about to leave your body. But it can be treated. It's a sickness we can treat. I will take you to Delhi where you can be given proper medicine to. He smiled. In Delhi nobody dies. Why are you crying? Did all this knowledge that I give you is to cry like this? Who is going? This body is going to go away. I'm not going to go anywhere. Take me and drown me in after I leave my body, drown my body into the Ganges. I want to go back to her. That's called Jala Samadhi. So, and then after a few days, he left his physical body and he was taken and given the Samadhi in the water. So, he was such a man of enormous intellectual strength and firmness, discipline, and also resolve. I will abide by the highest truth, no compromise. Such was the master, and such was his disciple. So, we fondly remember at this point the great master who has lived up to the expectations of his own teacher. Tapovana-Shishyaaya Namah. And once somebody asked this question to him, can you describe to us about Swami Tapovana? Gurudev was sitting near a ocean, he was in a beach of some place. He said, all of you close your eyes and listen to the sound between two waves. So everybody closed their eyes, and then there was a waves, the sound of the waves. And between the waves there was some, absence of the sound. One wave comes and goes, and then another wave comes and goes. Then he said, did you listen to that? Yes. That was my master. The pure awareness, which is completely silent. That master ever lives in the total stillness of the mind. So that was the way Gurudev used to describe. He said, no word can describe my master. And whenever anybody asked about Swami Tapovana, only thing that they all noticed, tears in his eyes. So he was so respectful and so much adoring his teacher that he was the best disciple Swami Tapovana produced. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkhabhat Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.